Hello everyone! Thank you for joining me. I don't think you can really see me behind all this manga, so I'm just gonna move it out of the way before we get on with the video. Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. Today we are doing a haul. Specifically, we are doing a Viz only haul. As I have said for the past few haul videos, I sort of held off filming other videos and doing my hauls between me so I could get my collection tour out, and then I fell ill, so I have accumulated a whole bunch of manga that I haven't shown you yet, and I've decided to try and break it down into more themed batches, I suppose. So I did my Isekai one, and I've done my case closed one, and now we've got Viz haul, and it's a very big haul, and goodness me, we're going to try and get through it as quickly as we can while still telling you all about what I've got. Hopefully this one won't be too bad, because usually when I pick up manga I buy like one volume from a series at a time, whereas this one I actually have like groups of a whole bunch of manga from a series, so that will help us speed along. Before we continue, as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this video already, even though we're not that far in. Also, don't forget to check out my social medias linked down below. We now have a Manga Dudettes Discord, and it's been so much fun, so please come along, join in, say hi, talk manga with us. That would be fantastic. But yes, let's get to the manga before any of this topples over and I get really sad. As I have done in some of my previous haul videos, this is going to be entirely alphabetical, which is why some of the stacks are a bit weirdly lopsided and don't have the big volumes at the bottom, because it's alphabetical. I love alphabetical. But yes, so let's get the first stack, which is sneakily hidden. Ooh, poor mic. Tried to move my mic closer so I can be a bit louder in the videos. So first off, we have 2 volumes of 7th Garden, volumes 5 and 8. In a fairly recent, in terms of my videos, I did a second-hand haul and I bought the rest of 7th Garden. All of it was cost second-hand. I think I was paying like between £2 and £4 for each of the volumes. These 2 I bought at Forbidden Planet, so as part of a 3 for 2. And so they were about £4.60. Apparently the series is on hiatus at volume 8, so I'm already up to date. Isn't that really neat? I can really binge through that series, can't I? Next we have this crazy stack of manga. Let's turn it around so you can see. Yes, I have bought a whole bunch of 20th Century Boys plus 21st Century Boys. I am missing volumes 1 and 2. They are out of stock at the moment. I believe reprints are on their way, but I think reprints are on their way to the US first, which means in the UK we'll see it like November, December, maybe even the new year, if we'll see. But yes, I decided to just jump right in with the series. As you can tell, I've bought all of it, having not read volume 1 and 2 or own it. I think it was just a combination of seeing the really good prices on Travelling Man's site, which is where I got almost all of these, and hearing so many people say good things about it. I was like, okay, fine, I'm going for it. I also really kind of like the spines. Usually I want singles over omnibus, but I prefer the 20th Century Boys omnibuses over the singles. I think the singles look boring. I'm sorry. They're just black and white, whereas this is like colour. Oh, yeah. So, 20th Century Boys, I'm ready when volumes 1 and 2 reappear in the UK. So that's the small stack done. Let's attack this humongous one that is actually slightly scaring me with how wobbly it is. First we have Anonymous Noise volume 14. I nearly said 1 out of habit. Anonymous Noise volume 14. I have like 1 through something. I have some real random volumes of this. I have read the first couple of volumes. I am unsure. It is very dramatic for me, and sometimes I struggle with series that take themselves a bit too seriously, which this one definitely seemed to. I am going to keep reading it because I like to keep reading series to completion. Also, the spines are rainbow, and yeah, I'm a sucker for rainbow spines. I'm probably going to try and pick up as much of this secondhand as I can, and absolutely as part of a 3 for 2, I will not be spending retail price on this series. It's complete, I think, at 18 volumes. It's shoujo. It's based around music. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it. I'm not gonna play the series. I'm just gonna see how it goes, pick it up when I can, and see, yeah, one day. Next we have Blue Exorcist Volume 21. So Blue Exorcist I've almost entirely been picking up secondhand. There's a few volumes here or there where I've bought in store. Usually if I've picked up volumes I want and I need like 1 or 2 more to make up a 3 for 2, series like this is what I go for. I've only read the first few volumes of this one as well, and I don't think I'm hooked yet. Like, I wouldn't say it's not bad. I'm just sort of waiting for a bit more, and I find that happens a lot with shoujos. So series like this, and there's another one I think in the stack, and it just takes me a little to get into, and I just haven't gotten there yet. I'm a bit held off from wanting to read too much because I'm missing volume 7, and I haven't come across volume 7 either secondhand or in store yet. So I'll probably, once I get that, give the series a bit more of a good go. Next we have volume 3 of Call of the Night. This is, this was up to date when I picked it up. Volume 4 is either coming up very soon or is already out, potentially in the US, but not in the UK, as always. This is, I'm again unsure. This series, I swear there are series in here that I like, I swear. Well, it's not that I don't like it. Volume 1 put me off a bit because I didn't like either of the main characters. I was very confused about what's happening. The kid is like 15 and he's just ambling around the streets at night. Okay. And yeah. So I need to read more. I want to read more. A lot of people love this series, so I'm hoping there's like more to it than I've read so far. I also really like the backs, which is really weird. I like the whole like smoky cloudy, and there's a different colour on each volume, so we've had blue and green and this one's yellow. I'm like, ooh, I like that. But yeah, unsure on this series as well. Need to give it a bit more of a go. Next we have Chainsaw Man Volume 6. Does Chainsaw Man need more of an introduction? I've definitely enjoyed what I've read so far. I too am hit with the stocking issues. I don't have volume 4 of the series, so I'm trying to keep up to date with it because I feel it's going to be harder to find them later on. But also, like, I'm not going to spend crazy amounts of money. I want my 3 for 2 prices. Though speaking of, Traveling Man have stopped doing 3 for 2 on Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen in store now, because I don't know why. I wonder if people were going in, buying them up and then selling them on, and they just couldn't hold on to the stock, and setting it to retail means they can. I don't know. They were very apologetic, and I was like, no, it's fine, chill, it's cool. Speaking of restocks of Chainsaw Man though, they had a huge amount of Chainsaw Man Volume 1, so they are definitely being reprinted. You just need to be patient. If it's a series you want to pick up, you can't find it, please don't play the scalper rates. Please don't. Just give it a little bit of time. It will get to you eventually. Next volume is Children of the Whales Volume 11. I was pretty excited to pick up this volume because I bought a whole bunch of this second hand, and volume 11 now gives me a clear run. I now have 1 through 12 with no gaps, and that always makes me happy. I think I picked this up second hand as well, but I can't remember. And Forbidden Planet don't put stickers on the Viz ones, they only put them on everything else, and there's no 3 for 2 sticker, which means it's not Traveling Man. It's a bit dented, so unless I've been like throwing it around, I assume it's second hand. I'm not particularly far in the series anyway, because as I said, I've had gaps and I've only filled them not too recently. A friend of mine is really big on the series. It's one of the first ones she's like swept up. She's up to date, she's further ahead than me, and I need to catch up with her so I can talk to her about it. Also, they have the most gorgeous covers. I love Children of the Whales covers. I think there's like volume 5 or 6. There's this like gorgeous floral bit to it. They're the olive flowers actually. He's holding some flowers. Yeah. really slightly darker series than I expected. I think it's technically a shonen. Is it? I don't know. It feels like a dark shonen. It doesn't feel quite heavy enough to be a seinen. But yeah, so pretty. Volume 2 of Demon Love Spell. I was gifted Volume 1 by the wonderful Tiffany. I did quite enjoy it. It felt very much like more old school shoujo, which honestly isn't something I've had particular experience with before we did our haul exchange. Because I mean, when I first got into manga, I only read shonen. It was Naruto, it was One Piece, it was Fullmetal Alchemist. It's only more recently that I started picking up like other genre. Well, recently, past 2, 3, 4 years, which is recent in my collecting year time frame. But because it's been more recent, I've not really been exposed to some of the older series. It probably isn't that old either, is it? Let's check the date. First printing, 2013. What? Really? I mean, really? I thought it was older than that. I'm so sorry. Anyway, though I really struggle to get over his chin. It is like such a pointy chin. I feel like he's just gonna move his chin over a little bit and like impale her. It's yokai, it's kind of smelly, it's good. I'm loath to say it's out of print because I'm not too sure and I don't want to say those words if I'm not too sure, but it is definitely hard to find and I don't see it in store anywhere, so all the volumes I have are second hand. I am missing like half the series though. It's only 6 volumes long, but I don't have 3, 4, 5? I think I have 6, yeah. I'll see what I can find. Next we have 4 volumes of Demon Prince of Momochi House. This is a series that I've actually been collecting for quite a while. I say quite a while, I think it was like 2017, 2018 when I started picking it up. I got quite quickly up to volume 8 or volume 9 and then just stopped. Honestly, no particular reason, I just didn't pick it up anymore. I kept forgetting to when I saw it. So when I saw that it was complete within the last year, I was like, okay, I should start picking this up again. And then I couldn't find it in Forbidden Planet or Traveling Man. They had really random volumes occasionally. Traveling Man only ever had like 2 volumes at a time. So if they had one I didn't have, I'd pick it up. But otherwise, it was just a bit of a waiting game. I've picked a few volumes up second hand, and I think I'm only missing 1 volume until it's complete now, and that is volume 10. So I'm going to do some aggressive perusing of secondhand websites to try and find that, I think. How to stack it so you can see it, but it's also not going to fall on me. I'll keep rearranging as we go. But the next 2 volumes we have are Demon Slayer 22 and 23. So that is a series complete. We love series complete. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, just me. So I have been on the hunt for volume 23 for the longest time. My Amazon order kept getting pushed back, pushed back. I wasn't meant to get this until mid-October, late October. It's currently very early October at the moment, so if I was still with Amazon, I still wouldn't have it. And I found it in Traveling Man one day. It was wonderful. I walked in the door, looked over at the new releases, saw it and ran at it. It probably was a bit more aggressive and over the top than it needed to be, but I was so excited to see it. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that is the series complete. I did quite enjoy the ending. I have some thoughts on it, but I'm probably going to do those in another video, probably, when I film more of my review videos, which I have started to do. I just need to decide if I'm happy enough with them and how to edit them, really. Next I have volume 12 of D.Gray-man. This is another series I'm buying almost all secondhand, actually very similar to Blue Exorcist. It's a shonen and I've not gotten particularly far into like have been grasped by it yet. But this seems to be another fan favourite, though it doesn't seem to be as big and popular as some other series. Maybe that's why I'm finding so many secondhand. I have like 1 through 12 now and then some random volumes later on. I did enjoy what I read, I just need to read some more of it is all. Next we have 2 volumes of Dorohedoro. Dorodoro, that one. Volumes 7 and 17. Guess where I got these? Haha, 352 sticker. This is definitely not out of print as far as I can tell. It's just hard to find. I've not seen a clear run of a series for the longest while. Like even before COVID, I don't think I saw a clean run of the series in like Trainman of Forbidden Planet. I'm not sure I've even seen like 20 volumes in the 20s. There are 23 volumes in this series. I have such random volumes at the moment because it's when I see new ones I'll pick them up. So yeah, 17 and 7 Dorodoro. I don't think I even have volume 2, so I can't do much more reading because I have read volume 1, and it's just a waiting game at this point, and because I don't want to pay retail because I'm cheap, really cheap. Volume 17 of Dr. Stone. I love Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone is definitely one of my favourite series out there. I love science so much that I did a degree in it, did a degree in the science, and this is just so wonderful. I love Sankyu. I love the whole like building things and the like rebuilding civilization, and they have sometimes like steps to rebuild. So we want this thing, but to get this thing we need this thing, to get this thing we need this thing, so we need to do this, we need to do this, and I absolutely adore that. I love how that's done, and yeah, I love the series so much, but apparently a lot of people really don't, and it's a lot of polar opposites on feelings regarding it, which is again fine as long as no one's a douche to each other. Everyone can have opinions. This volume starts a new arc. It definitely feels like it's on its way to wrapping up or trying to wrap up, and apparently they announced that it was starting its final arc in the next month or so, I think, which I think is good. It is, I love the series, but good series still need to end. I wonder how it's going to wrap up. We've got a whole bunch of questions. There are strange things happening. Like, what? Like, what is this? What is that? What? So, hyped for another volume. It's meant to be out soonish, I think, in the UK. I'm really hoping by the end of the month and I can get another volume. Ooh. Next, we have 3 volumes of Eyeshield 21. So that's volumes 1, 5, and 12. I really wasn't going to pick up this series because of how out of print it is, and I just didn't want to commit to another one when I'm collecting things like Great Teacher Onizuka, and I'm like 4 volumes off completing Great Teacher Onizuka, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to be able to. And I was worried it might happen again with Eyeshield 21, but I decided to take the plunge when a friend sent me a link to a retail copy of volume 1, and I was like, yeah, okay, fine. And then she started sending me more links to discounted volumes, and I'm like, why are you doing this to me, as I'm putting them in my basket and buying them. So yeah, I've decided to try and collect it now. It's one of her favourite series, and the way she talks about it honestly was one of the reasons I was like, okay, I'm going to take a risk with this one, because she enjoys it so much, and honestly I want to try and experience that joy too. So yeah, 3 volumes for now, very out of order, and I think I'm going to, like, because a lot of volumes I found are a retail price and I don't like paying retail price, I'm probably going to buy like a volume or 2 a month as like a limit instead of buying everything I can find right now, and see how far I can get. I know my friend has managed to collect almost the entire series except for like 3 volumes in only a few months, but she doesn't collect as many in general as I do, so I'm hoping I'll be able to manage it without going too crazy. I just need to be careful. Next we have volume 7 of Fire Punch. I haven't started reading the series yet. At this point I'm only missing 1 volume, and I'll be honest, I think I'm going to wait for that and then binge it all in one go. It's only 8 volumes. It's meant to be a bit dark, a bit gritty, and apparently the same author as Chainsaw Man, which I didn't realise at all until someone else pointed it out to me. Yeah, Travelling Man. So yes, 1 more volume and that's complete, and then I'm going to binge through that. Right, next we have Fist of the North Star volume 1. I really do like this kind of binding. There aren't too many series that do it. I think the ones in my collection, it's like Jojo and Saint Young Men, and then this now. This is meant to be a good old school series. A lot of people I know have talked about it. People I know in person have said that they wanted it to be reprinted for many years, and then here it is, so they're very excited for it. I kind of like the spine, even though I think it's both boring and really nice. It's just really neat. This just feels so nice. I haven't read it yet. It took ages to get to me. I saw it in Traveling Man, and I was like, I've got a pre-order, but it's like, it's shipping soon. Shall I wait? And I sillily waited, and I should have picked it up in Traveling Man and cancelled my pre-order, but I know now. But yeah, hyped to read that. Volume 2 is already out in the US, so maybe that'll be over here in the next few months as well. See, I don't know how many of these are going to be, how many of these sort of bindings there are, because the series is already complete, so in theory they already know how many of these there are going to be. I have no idea how many that is. I want to go look that up. I'll go look that up later. Next we have Fly Me to the Moon Volume 6. This is a really cute, wholesome series. It's kind of a reverse romance where they get married before they really know much about each other. The series starts when she saves this dude's life from a bus in the road. She like pulls him out or something, and in like the spur of the moment is like, will you marry me? And she like giggles a bit and walks off, and then many years later she turns up and she's like, you want to get married? And he's like, yeah, alright. Okay. But it's weirdly cute, and they're super lovely together, and they're like learning about each other as if they're first dating but they're already married. And yeah, nothing much happens in the series, but it is super wholesome and lovely to read, and really good series. Ooh, this stack is actually a little shorter than this one. You can't see it anymore. Let's bring it round a bit. There we go, peeking. So next we have Volume 6 of Full Moon. This is another series that Tiffany gave me in my manga swap box. It's only a 6-volume series, I think. And again, I'm loath to say it's out of print, but it's definitely much harder to find. I've got another couple of volumes, but they're both second hand. So it's going to be keeping an eye out, looking out when I can find volumes so I can complete this series. I really like the big eyes. It's so like glowy, the art style. I know what I mean. I'm so sorry. Next we have a whole bunch of Golden Kamuy volumes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 7. We have 7 volumes, though not in order. So we have 7, 9, 12, 13, 14, 16, and 21. Both 7 and 12 are plastic wrapped because Forbidden Planet plastic wrapped them themselves, which I find really weird, but they do it with Hell's Paradise as well, like self-plastic wrap. I don't know. That's just really weird, and it's found in the like adult section, which is just weird. They definitely had way worse volumes just out and about. Like they had some unplastic wrapped Go Ship, and it's like, what? Really? I really have enjoyed what I've read of the series, but it has been quite hard to find, hence why I've got a whole bunch of gaps at the moment. Just gonna keep going, see what I can find. I wasn't trying to get too far ahead, but then I found volume 21 on Traveling Man for $5.99, which is even cheaper than the 3 for 2 price, so I was like, right, I'm grabbing it, yep, yeah. Next we have 3 volumes of Haikyu, volumes 30, 33, and 39. This is a series I have been repeatedly saying that because of stocking issues, I am buying what I can, and eventually I'll have a clear run. I've really enjoyed buying manga this way actually, because like when I get that manga that slots in and it completes the series, it's like I've completed a puzzle, and I absolutely love that feeling. It's like a bonus I get to read it once I've got it, but also I can complete the puzzle. Yeah, I know. But yeah, so I am missing a whole bunch of the earlier volumes. I think it's 1 to 7 or something. Where is it? Yeah, 1, 2, 7, 8, 10, 11. So I assume there's a good chance I'll get loads of Haikyu. I'll almost have a clear run and then I'll be missing volume 3. I think that's going to be the case with a few series actually. Earlier volumes are definitely hardest to come by. I assume lots of people picking up new series at the moment, and so of course the earlier ones are the ones to go. So I just need to wait for the restocks to come back in, which I'm sure they will do because Haikyu is a really popular series and it's finished not that long ago. I just need to keep patient. Next we have, and I'm going to do these together, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamonds Are Unbreakable Volume 7, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Golden Wind Volume 1. So this one is brand new, this one is like properly up to date. This one is not. That is a lot thicker than that one, isn't it? I have some huge gaps in JoJo as well. If you've watched any of my other haul videos, you'll see I picked up the first 6 volumes of Diamonds Unbreakable for about £7 each. I know, right? And the same site that I bought those from does have a bundle of the last 5 volumes of Part 3 for about the same price, but it's been out of stock and it's still out of stock. But this one was out of stock for the longest while, so I'm like holding my breath to be able to buy it for that price because I like those sort of prices. In Travelling Man, buying JoJo works out about £11 a volume, so I'd be able to save £3 to £4 on each of those volumes, and I like those kind of savings. It's just having the patience to wait for it to come back in stock. So I've just done a little bit of rearranging so I could actually get to the next stack of manga because it was like way over there, and also now it's not like all in my space. So anyway, let's get on to the next 2 volumes. We have our volumes 10 and 11 of Jujutsu Kaisen. As you can tell, I managed to snag my volume 11 from Travelling Man before they introduced the not included in the 3 for 2 rule. I am missing volume 7 of this series as well as volume 0, but I feel like I could still continue reading the series without that, from my understanding. So I'm just waiting for that to come back in stock. For the longest time I was waiting on volume 5. I think I was missing volume 5 for like a year. I only managed to grab it like a couple of months ago, just before I filmed this, just before I stopped filming my hauls is what I mean. So it did come back in stock. I continued to collect the series, so I'm still up to date. So same with why I've picked these up. I'm picking these up so I can stay up to date with the series because I think it'll be easier than I'll end up waiting a long time, and I want to try and binge through because I like binging my shonens. Shonens are great to binge because there's always a cliffhanger, there's some dramatic action fight, or if you've got a fight across volumes, sometimes I get confused when I come back in and I'm like, wait, what, whose foot's that? Yeah. So yeah, I'm not horrendously far into this yet because I've had a whole bunch of missing volumes. I'm slowly getting those back. I'm slowly filling those in, is what I mean to say. Goodness me, I'm getting all my words wrong. Yeah, so I will be able to read these at one point. Next we have volume 6 of Kami-sama Kiss. So I know loads of people really like this series. It's the same author as Demon Prince, I believe. I can't see the spines anymore because they're like around there somewhere. Can I see it? No. This is very much out of stock, I think. I'm hoping. And I was picking up volumes when I saw them. I saw this one for 3 for 2 price. I nabbed it. But yeah, otherwise I'm just waiting for more of it to get printed. I have like volumes 1 and then 6 and 10. And there's like 24 of them. One day, volume 3 of The King's Beast. So this is a shoujo series. It's very pretty, but I must say I found this volume a bit boring, a bit dull. I'm not, like, if you asked me what happened in this volume, I could tell you there was a tea ceremony, and then I'm not sure what else happened. There was just a lot of, like, looking at each other. It wasn't bad, but I'm not like, you should go read this. Yeah, which I feel really mean about. I feel really mean, because again, it's not a bad series, it's just not It's not grabbing me. So I will keep reading it, but I'm not going to try and rush to keep up to date. If I see more volumes or new volumes in stores, I'll pick them up, but I'm not going to be like keeping an eye out, watching prices online, that sort of thing. We have 2 volumes of Kuroko? How do you spell that? Kurokos, I'm going to say Kuroko, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Basketball, we got to the second word, pronounced basketball. These are omnibus volumes, and again, I kind of like these omnibus volumes. I like how bright blue they are. So it's volumes 2 and 15, or 3 and 4, and 29 and 30. I like to count my omnibuses as 1 volume. I know a lot of people would count this as 2, but I like to count it as 1. So I picked up number 2 from Traveling Man, and I've picked up volume 15 second hand. So this was like £6 or £5. It was insane. I was like, oh my god, yes, please. I've not started reading the series yet because I just haven't. Sometimes I have reasons. I'm missing volumes. This one I just haven't started reading. I am a bit daunted by how many volumes there are. Starting a long series like that is daunting. I just need to pick one up and start it. I'm trying to get more into some sports manga, and Haikyu is turning out to not be one that's particularly accessible at the moment. I finished reading one called Dive, which is about diving, but that was only 3 volumes, so I need some more, really. And this is one I'm giving a go. Volume 9 of Love Me, Love Me Not. This is great. I really like this series. It's by the same author as Strobe Edge and Now Harry Ride, and this is definitely my favourite of the 3, primarily because I really like this character right here, this one that looks super spooked and is like, what is happening right now? Her, I love her, she's great because she's just super cute and lovely, and she also reads manga, if I recall correctly. I definitely love the art style of this artist. It is definitely one of the reasons that I started picking up more. I made an effort to pick up series by her in particular. As I often say, I don't usually go out of my way to pick up manga series based on author. This is probably one of the few exceptions. There's like 2 or 3, another one being like Mashima, as in Fairy Tail, and who else? Like, purposefully, that might be the only 2. There's a whole bunch of incidental where I pick up a series and I enter it in my spreadsheet, and I can tell, you can see when you start typing that the name's already in there, and I'm like, ooh, what else have they written? Oh, they wrote that! Did they? Really? Okay. But yes, tangent over. Good series. Is already complete in Japan. Completes early next year in the UK. Yay! Next we got a whole bunch of volumes of Magi, however you like to pronounce it. I don't know which one it is. I'm going to say all of the above. I think I've got 9 volumes. Yeah, I've got 9 volumes. For the longest time I've had volumes 1 through 23, and then I kind of just stopped picking it up, again for no particular reason. There was a period of time where I was commuting to work via bus and train, and Magi was a series that I started reading on the bus and the train, and then when I stopped doing that, I kind of just stopped reading the series, and it was for no particular reason. It just ended up being so ingrained in my head that I read this on the bus and the train, and then I stopped getting on the bus and the train. And then I stopped reading, which is really silly. So I again have been trying to make an effort to actually complete the series now. A whole bunch of this I actually picked up second hand. I think you can barely tell. There's a few volumes where like the edges are a bit tattered. Some of these are also Traveling Man, as you'll be able to. Oh, this is backing up pretty close to me. Are we close to the end? Are we close to the end? No, we still got another. There you go, that's the last volume. 37 volumes in the series. I am, pretty close to completing now. I'm not missing many. Oh, that last one's got a big crease in that. You see that? Ooh. Oh well, don't care. It's another series where I also quite like the spines. I love how bright and colourful they are, which draws me in. Very sad that the last volume is grey though. When you want to like bright and colourful to celebrate the end of the series? Pff, what do I know? that'll be really nice to finish when I get the rest. Next, I have volume 1 of Mashle, Magic and Muscles. I must say, I absolutely loved this volume so much. The humour is so dumb. It was amazing. There were like some of the faces that some of the characters pull. They just look super dumb and I loved it. Can I quickly find some of them? I don't know if you can see that one. You know what? I'm just gonna take a picture and post it over the screen. But yeah, this was super dumb and I loved it. It took ages to find volume 1. Thankfully I managed to find it at Forbidden Planet. They hadn't even put it out on the shelves yet. It was like in a box to the side ready to put out, and I just thought of like, thank you. Volume 2 is out in the States. Really hoping it comes to the UK really soon because I want more of this really badly. I read somewhere that it's already starting to near completion, which makes me really happy and really sad because it doesn't feel like it's been going that long. I mean, it's only just started printing in English and they're like, yep, nearly done. And I'm like, no, please, more. But that's fine. As long as it stays as good as this one did, I'll be super happy. Next we have volume 4 of Millennium Snow. This is by Bisco Hattori, which is the same author as Ouran High School Host Club. This is a 4-volume series. It's about vampires. It was fine. I read volume 1. I don't have volumes 2 and 3. This was bought secondhand. Also, the cover's lovely on volume 4, and on volume 1, it's really not as lovely. Yeah, volume 1, it was another very dramatic, slightly too dramatic for me kind of series. But it's 4 volumes and vampires, and I thought, why not? Why didn't I sell volume 4 for a decent price? So I'm like halfway completed. Yeah. And then I can read the rest of the series. So I'll get volume 3 and then I'll get volume 2. Next, I have 4 volumes of Monster. Volumes 1, 3, 4, and 8. I wasn't going to try and pick up Monster because I started picking up 20th Century Boys, but then I managed to find a volume 1 for a second-hand volume 1 for actually a pretty decent price, and I was like, okay, fine. So yeah, that is a series I'm now trying to complete, as well as 20th Century Boys. I found volume 2 secondhand that should hopefully be on its way shortly, which is really good. And then I've got 4 volumes in a row, and then it's just waiting for the rest to come back in stock. I haven't seen them in stock in Traveling Man of Forbidden Planet for a while. They only have a whole bunch of like 3s and 4s. Volume 8 felt like a bit of a special moment. So I'm excited to read this. A whole bunch of people love this series as well. I might wait for a few more to arrive before I read it though. Next one to this pile. It probably looks like we've still got a lot left, and we do, but it probably won't take as long because there's quite a few like chunks of series in here. So the first volume I've got on here is Monster Hunter Flash Edition Volume 8. I think this series might be out of print. It's very hard to find. I have the first few volumes. It's based on a video game, so I want to collect more. But I'm just gonna see what I can see for now and hope for the best. I think there's about 10 volumes, so I'm crossing all the fingers at the moment that I can find the rest. Next we have volume 4 of Moriarty, The Patriot. This volume focused a whole bunch on, what's his name? Moran, that's his name, and his past. So we've learned a whole bunch about him, why he's doing what he's doing, and it was really good, though I definitely found it took me a while to get into the volume because there was a bit of a gap between me reading volume 3 and volume 4. It was a few months. Kind of forgot who everyone was, besides like, you know, the obvious character Sherlock Holmes, Moriarty and that. So I had to try and get back into it, and it was almost I got to the end of the volume, got back into it, and then I was done. Shame. I really like Sherlock Holmes and all that anyway. So this has been absolutely amazing to read, and I really love, there's a scene I think when they go to York Station, and that just was wonderful for me because like I used to go through York Station all the time. I'm in Yorkshire, so it's like the law or something. But yeah, great series, can't wait for more volumes of that. Next we have volumes 4 and 5 of My Hero Academia Smash. This is like a comedy, silly version of My Hero Academia. It's one of those, I've forgotten what they're called, 4-panel like comedy mangas where you read like the columns down like that, and each column is a little skit. I know a lot of people aren't keen on them. I think they're great. I think they're stupid and I love it. That's complete though. There is only 5 volumes in the series, which confuses me a little because the main series is still ongoing. Maybe they caught up, maybe they were like, no, I'm not doing any more. Maybe the main series got too serious to make it funny. I don't know. But yeah, hyped for that to be complete. I can read some humour in between the main series alternate volumes. Next we have My Hero Academia Vigilante volume 10. So I have 1 through 6 and 10. Now I've got a gap of 7, 8, 9. I think I needed to make a 3 for 2. I needed one more volume, so I picked this one up and they didn't have any of the earlier ones. It's a really silly reason. What I've read so far has been pretty good. It's definitely a bit grittier, or it got grittier quicker than the main series, so we'll see where it goes. Next we have 6 volumes of My Love Story. I previously picked some random volumes up of this series when I saw them in Forbidden Planet. So I've got volume 5, 6, 7, which is great, 8, 9, ooh, that's great too, and 10. Wow, what a face. So that's 6 volumes of that. This has definitely been harder to find. Again, I don't want to say out of print, just hard to find. I have all of that apart from volume 3. I am missing volume 3, so I can't progress particularly easily. So yeah, I'm on the lookout for volume 3 of that series as well. There's a whole bunch of random volumes in Viz series that I'm like, I need this. I need to just like tour the country looking for my missing volumes. Emma, Tiffany, road trip. See, this is what I mean by that stack is deceivingly tall, because we've now got this, which is Nisekoi. How many Nisekoi volumes are there? 11 volumes of Nisekoi, so that is volumes 10, 11, 12, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, which is the final volume in the series, and it's a mega chunky boy. But yes, so there's a whole bunch of Nisekoi here. I'm missing like not much now, only a few volumes, and then it is complete, which is really great. The one of the volumes I'm missing is quite an early one, so I can't get particularly far in at the moment, even if I wanted to. A good chunk of this is secondhand, particularly I think like the mid-20s, something like that, or like those ones were all secondhand, and then the rest were all Travelling Man. So yeah, that one was Travelling Man, that one was Travelling Man, and the secondhand ones I paid less than about £4 each, which is great. And the series on the way to completion. Next we have volume 22 of One Punch Man. This was a great volume. It was filled with action, and usually when it's just an entirely actiony volume, I don't enjoy it as much, because by the time I've come back to the series, I'm like, right, who's who again? What's going on? Where are we? But it didn't seem to matter with this one. I definitely got into it really quickly, and I really liked the fight with is it Zombie Man? That was amazing. That was great. Honestly, can't wait for volume 23 now. I need to know more. Next we have Persona 5 volume 7. I didn't dislike the volume. I was definitely a bit bored. I have played Persona 5 already, so I do know the story and what happens. And sometimes I find video game mangas, they kind of bring enough new things to this manga that it's still fun and enjoyable to read. But Persona 5 is not really much different to the games. It's like, well, I don't know what I was expecting. Like, the Zelda manga usually brings new characters or changes how things are, but also I just love Zelda. That might be a bad example. My saving grace for the series, and it's introduced a bit more in this volume, is it does look like they've got the characters from Persona 5 Royal, which I haven't played, so the storyline that comes with them is probably going to be completely new to me, and I'm looking forward to that. As you can tell by the cover, potentially, we are just about to enter the 4th palace by the end of the volume, and I quite liked that palace. I'm really looking forward to volume 8 so we can actually see what it's like in there. Next we have Platinum End volume 13. This is the penultimate volume. There is only one more volume and then it's complete, but it seems to be taking its sweet time to come out. I know a lot of people really like the series. I wouldn't say, again, it's a bad series. I've definitely gotten bored of it by now. It's sort of reached a point where things have just gotten really weird, and now everyone's just doing loads of discussions and they're all deep and profound, and I'm like, okay, that's nice. I liked it more in the series I liked it more earlier on in the series. It now feels like it's trying to be edgy for the sake of being edgy. It's the same authors as Death Note and Bakuman. The art style is gorgeous. I can't fault it in the slightest. I mean, also, I love, like, if I do that, look at all that sparkle, like rainbow. Oh, yes. I want to wrap it up. I want to see what happens. I'm glad there's only one more volume, because I want it to be done at this point. Yeah. I hope I've not upset anyone. Next we have 2 volumes of Pluto, volume 7 and 8. That is series complete. This is another Urasawa series, not intentional at all, in the slightest. It's another one of those series that has the, like, they're called French flaps, I think. I remember seeing someone saying, how do I remove them? And they're like, don't. Unless you cut them. Why would you cut your manga? Why would you cut your manga? Ugh. Disgusting. But yeah, that is the series complete. I'm really hyped to read this. A lot of people love the series. Everyone I know that's read it loves the series. So yeah. We are on to another stack, the last stupid stack. And then we got this little dinky one at the front, which you can already kind of see what the series is. Now this is really deceiving because this is how many volumes I'm taking off the top here. Oh, look at that, look at that. It's a piddly stack now. So this stack is Pokemon. So the first 3 volumes on top, are 15, 20 and 21 of Pokemon Adventures. So that now means I have a straight run of the first, it's not the first arc, the first 29 volumes where they still numbered them consecutively. I then have volumes, actually I'll put those down here. Then I have volumes 1 to 11 of the Diamond and Pearl Platinum is the name of it, arc. So that was when they got to volume 29 of Pokemon Adventures, they decided for the next arc to go back to volume 1, which is a bit confusing because 1 through 29 has a whole bunch of arcs in it, and then they're like, oh, let's just start 1 again, I think. That's how it seems to have happened, and it's really, really annoying and confusing for my spreadsheet. So we have 11 volumes here. I wasn't going to pick these up, and then Traveling Man had them for 25% off, which actually made them cheaper in the box set than if I bought them 3 for 2. It worked out about £4 each. Actually, it was a bit cheaper. Yeah, about £4 each. I really am excited for this because I like Pokemon. Promised Neverland Volume 20. That same day that I ran into Traveling Man and saw Demon Slayer 23 next to Demon Slayer 23 was the Promised Neverland Volume 20. It was a wonderful day as I grabbed both of them and I was like, yes. Shall I just buy this? Shall I keep looking? Or shall I just stop here? I was very happy. I went home and I read both of them back to back, which might have been a bit too heavy reading 2 long series endings, one after the other. The emotional toil it took on me was quite heavy. I very much enjoyed Promised Neverland ending. A part of it felt a little rushed, but I also feel if they'd done anything else, it would have dragged. It would have felt a bit like it dragged out. So I actually think, even though I feel it was a bit rushed, I think it was done well and fine, and I don't think I'd wanted it another way. Which I understand is a bit weird, it makes no sense, but it makes sense to me. I know what I mean. I know what I mean. Hopefully you do. That's fine if you don't. If you haven't tried the series out, I would definitely recommend it. I don't watch too much anime, but even I know that you're not meant to watch the Promised Neverland anime because apparently it's a bag of arse. Is the polite way of putting it. Next we have 4 volumes of Requiem of the Rose King, very much out of order. I have 6, 7, 9, and 11. This is another one that's just been hard to find. A lot of Viz manga in general is having stocking issues. I definitely think it's worse than most other series, publishers, sorry. But Viz generally do a lot more reprints than other publishers, so I'm not too worried, especially when it's newer series like this one. Just need to have a little patience. I've only read volume 1 because I think I have like volume 1 and volume 4. So I'm from Yorkshire, and when I was at school we would do stuff on the War of the Roses because like it's kind of a history. So seeing it in manga is weird, especially when they're going to like towns and villages and it's like, okay, I know that place, I've been to that place, okay, it's getting weird, it's getting really weird. That's like my only issue so far with the series, also the fact I can't find early volumes. But yeah, so I'm going to keep picking that up. I also like the red on black, that's really pretty. Next we have 3 volumes of Rosario Vampire. So we have Rosario Vampire volume 5, and then Rosario Vampire volumes 8 and 9 of the 2nd season. I have been picking up this series entirely secondhand. I don't have any brand new volumes in there unless secondhand was actually secretly brand new, which wouldn't surprise me. I kind of wonder if I should have just gone for the box set at this point, but I've enjoyed picking them up here and there. I'm actually not missing too many volumes before I'm complete. It's like a few volumes in season 2 at the 2nd season and the 1 or 2 in the 1st one, and it's been so much fun. Some of them are in wonderful condition, some of them are a bit battered, some of them have posters in, and some of them have had the posters ripped out. I haven't gone too far because I've been missing volume 5. I've read up to volume 5, I think, so now I can actually progress a little further. Next we have 4 volumes of Seraph at the End, volume 15, volume 16, volume 19, and volume 21. I really like the cover of volume 19 though, more than anything. This is a vampire series, it's ongoing, it's in the 20s, I think it's on like 21 or 22. I have a few gaps though, like I don't think I have 18 or 20, no I have 18. 17, I don't have 17 or 20. I've previously sent a video, I have an issue with this series and it is nothing to do with the series itself, it's because I got really absorbed into reading it and missed my train for work once. I was late for work, which is really annoying. And similar to Magi, when I stopped getting the train and I stopped reading it, and for no particular reason, so it's another one I'm now trying to catch up on. I already had a straight 1 through 11 before I stopped reading for a while, so it's not been too bad trying to pick up volumes because, as I said, a lot of the issue volumes that are out of stock are the early ones, but I already had those, so I'm just trying to catch up at this point and give it a good college try to get back into it and not be angry at it for reasons that it's not its fault, really, because I do like vampire series and I'd enjoyed what I read. I just volume 8 of Shortcake Cake. So what I've decided to do more recently is I have my basket for my currently reading, and I've picked like a few series that every time I add the next volume along from that series into the basket, and then so I can more quickly read through series without necessarily binging the series in one go, if that makes sense. So instead of reading 6, 7, 8 of a series, I'll read 6 of this and then 3 of another one and 2 of another one, and then I'll read 7 of this and then 3 and then 3, or whatever it was. And this is one of the series I've been trying to get through. In fact, I actually read volume 8, I think just last week. I don't want to be too spoilerish. I don't yet, especially because I've not finished the series. I definitely think I enjoyed the beginning of the series more than what is happening right now. And that is all I'm gonna say. And the artwork's really pretty. The artwork's really pretty. It's a high school romance, and the artwork's pretty. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Next we have Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle Volume 15. I'm up to date with this now, though I've only read about halfway. This is a series that once I've completed one of the ones I'm putting in my basket, I want to add this into my rota. I love the series. I love she's really arsey. She's not a great person, but I love it. I love the teddy demons. I love how all the demons now look after her and are quite fond of her. And it's great. I love the cleric. The demon cleric is great. And he's on the back of this volume. Oh, that makes me happy. This is great. And I can't wait to read more of this. I kind of want to binge this one. Next we have Snow White with the Red Hair Volume 13. I, for the longest while, was actually up to date with this series, and then I kind of fell out of it, and now I'm behind, I think, by a volume or two. I do enjoy it, but I find it a bit dull, a bit boring, not a huge amount happens. It's very sweet and nice. And I know I've said, like, some manga and some romance in particular I find way too dramatic. This is almost not dramatic enough. It's like gone too far in the other direction. It has its moments, it has its ups and downs. It just, for me, has a lot more downs than it does ups. So that's why I'm going to keep picking it up, but I'm not going to like have it pre-ordered like I did have for some of the series. And it's just if I see it in the store, I'll try and grab some more. Next we have Star Wars Guardians of the Wilds. This is a one-shot, and it is based on 2 characters from Rogue One, the movie. This was really good. I really liked these characters in the movie anyway, so I was really hyped to read this one. The only issue I had with it, and it was the dumbest thing ever, is it is read left to right, and I did manage to get over reading left page, right page, but what I really struggled with was reading left speech bubble, right speech bubble. I kept going to the right panel or page and then starting in the wrong place and then getting very confused and then realising my mistake and then having to reread it. So I definitely struggled to read this one more than I thought I would, for the dumbest reason. I did definitely enjoy seeing the like mini story of the pair of them before they met up and they joined the rebellion. It does make it a little bit more sad though. Next we have 3 volumes of A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow, volumes 2, 6 and 7. This is a high school romance Yuri series. Volume 1 was super wholesome and sweet. These 2 girls are both in the Aquarium Club and they just get really close, and it's really quite sweet and wholesome so far. I haven't read volume 2 yet, I've not had it that long, and then I needed to make 3 for 2, so I picked up 6 and 7, but I don't have 3, 4, 5, so I'll need to pick those up. I also really like the spines. I love the like underwater blue gradient. Undead Unluck Volume 2. I have really enjoyed this series. It is Shonen Jump. It's a bit crude, it's funny, there's lots of really neat fight scenes. I like the mechanics of like what their weird powers are. Basically, he's let's get the glyph. He's undead and she's unlucky, and he's like, I'm just trying to die, and he's hoping to use her unluckiness to kill him. So far it's not worked, and he's like, I'm keeping you with me until it works. And it's just, I've really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I picked up volume 1 for the dumbest reason, and that reason was I didn't have any series in my collection that began with the letter U. So I was like, I'm gonna pick it up for that reason, which is, yes, I know. But I'm so glad I did, because I've really enjoyed it. I would absolutely recommend picking this one up if any of what I said sounds interesting. If you're unsure about picking up the volumes, there are only 2 out at the moment, though 3 comes out soon in the UK. Definitely check out the Shonen Jump app, because I think this one goes up to like chapter 12, I think, in this volume. Chapter 16 in this volume, and I think the Shonen Jump app had like up to chapter 60 or something. They have loads more. So definitely check out there if you're interested. Next we have 3 volumes of The Water Dragon's Bride, volumes 5, 9 and 10. This has been like a slightly more dramatic shoujo, I think. I've only read the first couple of volumes, and then I picked up 9 and 10 to make a 3 for 2. Because I've got a gap between 5 and 9. It's been a bit strange so far. I'm still a bit confused as to what's happening, but I'm hoping reading more will explain to me. 16 and 17 of We Never Learn. So 16 was like the penultimate volume almost. So it's a 21 volume series, but 16 was like the penultimate volume because the rest of the volumes are like different route endings. So it's a harem series, and there's I think 6. Is there 6 women? No, there's 5 women. There's 5 women. There's 5 women. And every volume, including 17 up to 21, is a different route ending for a different girl, which is really weird. It's like a choose your own adventure, but with manga volumes. It's very weird. I'm so confused. But so this volume was the ending for this girl here in the middle, whose name really escapes me. Iruka? Takimoto? Her. I'll be honest, she wasn't one of my... I wasn't too keen on her, so maybe reading her ending first is better. Though I really quite liked these 2. I think I liked her the most, and then her. But it's been super weird, and it's strange. I'm glad it's ending. It needed to start wrapping up. I must say, the few volumes before this one were really dragging out, and it was like, please, get to the end. Who's he gonna be with? And then the answer is, yes. What? No, which girl does he start to date? Yes. What? It's, yeah, so weird. I assume it's going to be weirder when I get the next volume, but that's not out yet. We'll see. Oh my gosh. This is the last stack, and it's piddly. Of course, we got all of this. We have a whole bunch of Yona at the Dawn. This is a hard to find series at the moment. Again, not out of print, but just out of stock. And it'll be reprinted. It's that popular. It will be. So I've just been picking up random volumes when I can find them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different volumes. So I've got volume 12, volume 13, volume 16, volume 17, volume 19, volume 23, volume 24, volume 27, volume 28. That's a gorgeous cover. That is a gorgeous cover. And that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them. Yeah, so I'm just picking up what I can find at the moment, some random volumes here and there. It's what I've been doing for a bunch of series like Magi and Nisekoi, and I've now started doing it for Yona now that I'm getting to the end of those series. I've only read a couple of volumes because that's all I have. I have a huge gap after the first few, so I can't go much further at the moment, but I really want to. Based on what everyone says, I think I'm going to love the series. I just need to grab the volumes. Finally, I have volumes 1 and 2 of Zom 100. I've got to be honest, I kind of wish I hadn't picked the series up, and it's for a very silly reason. And the main, you're going to be like, well, of course it is. I don't like zombies. Like, I really don't like zombies. I can't watch zombie movies. I can't play zombie games. No Call of Duty zombies for me. Not at all. That Marvel What If episode with zombies, like, was too much for me. And you're like, well, it's a zombie manga. Why have you bought a zombie manga if you can't do zombies? Well, I've read some zombie manga where there aren't really zombies, or the zombies aren't really that bad. And I was like, well, everyone's really enjoyed it, maybe I'll give it a go. And also look at those colourful spines and covers. And I gave it a go, and no, the zombies are really bad. But the problem is, I really like the story, and I quite like the main character because he's just so full of pep and an idiot. So I'm not sure what to do yet with the series at all. Maybe it's just I buy the volumes and then I read it in a room with like all the curtains open, middle of the day, people around or something, and that'll calm me down. So yeah, my issue isn't the story. Well, it is. It's a part of the plot, but it's entirely a me issue, not a story issue. I also know volume 3 is bright yellow, and I think volume 4 is bright green, so like the colours are getting brighter and more colourful, and I'm like, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I've enjoyed it, but also I've hated it a lot. Well, that is that haul complete. That was a very long haul. I've got very sore throat. Goodness me, I hope I can get that cut down to a reasonable time without me just cutting out everything I've said along the way. Yeah, I do hope you enjoyed it, because I quite enjoyed it. I also like this whole look of being like just surrounded by manga. So there's going to be one more pretty big haul video to wrap up the manga that I bought during the gap. And then we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled types of hauls where I talk about ones where I've bought, where I've gone shopping, or we do secondhand or Blackwells, that sort of thing. But I am also going to start filming videos that aren't haul videos and try and intersperse them here or there. I have a whole bunch of ideas for shorter videos I want to do, like 5 to 10 minutes in length. So I'm going to start trying to do those and probably post those a bit more frequently as well. So I'll keep doing like the haul videos and the longer videos, but then I might try and do some shorter ones randomly a bit here and there. But yeah, this has already been long enough, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, like that video, as in this video, and maybe that video if you fancy. Go check out the social medias down below. Check out the new Discord where you'll find me, Emma and Tiffany chilling and chatting manga and everything else. Not just manga, we just chill and chat, because that's what we do. Yes. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!